waiting for us. We welcomed in the Eurogroup today the new Minister of Finance of Lithuania, Vilius Zapoka, who informed us of the new government's plans and priorities. We also welcomed Sabine Lautenschläger, who is the Vice Chair of the Supervisory Board of the Single Supervisory Mechanism, and she came in especially to talk about the report of the European Court of Auditors on the SSM. First, let me say some words on the euro area economy. We had a good exchange today with the IMF on their findings of the interim mission relating to the Article 4 consultations with the euro area. And the growth in the euro area is firming and broadening in many countries. And for the first time since the crisis, all euro area member states are forecasted to grow again. Of course, there are risks from the inside relating to political instability or possible instability, and risk from the outside relating to new government in the US and the Brexit. We have achieved a lot in the last few years, and we've left the crisis behind, but at this juncture it seems particularly important to reaffirm our continuous support for global free trade and the deepening of the single internal market, both of which can and should deliver higher potential growth for us, and they have that potential growth in them. So we should keep driving for open markets to achieve more growth, job creation, and an improvement of living standards. Second, let me talk about Greece. We were first debriefed by the ESM on the implementation of the short-term debt measures. I'm sure Klaus will say more about that. We were then informed by the institutions on the state of play on the second review. The good news is that the Greek economy is recovering faster than anyone expected. And there are also strong dynamics on the fiscal side with better than expected revenues. And we've also heard that Greece is set to overperform its 2016 fiscal target. Now, there's a clear understanding that a quick finalization of the second review is in everyone's interest and will continue to support the positive trend in the economy. The institutions and the Greek authorities will remain engaged in constructive discussions to solve the outstanding issues. We have encouraged them to accelerate that work with a view of a quick return of the mission to Athens and reach that staff-level agreement as soon as possible. Third, on post-program surveillance, the institutions debriefed us on the main findings of their missions to Ireland and Portugal. As regards Ireland, we were very pleased to hear about the excellent economic and fiscal performance, while also noting some risks associated with the economic environment, of course, specifically the UK leave vote. I think Michael Noonan, the Irish minister, said with his well-known Celtic understatement, we are in a pretty good shape, and that basically sums up the mission to Ireland. On Portugal, it was good to learn that the recovery is underway and progress achieved on the fiscal and financial sector front. However, important risks are in the medium term, and there is no room for complacency. It's crucial that Portugal commits and stays committed to the reform agenda, given the need to boost potential growth, also in the context of the still high debt and volatile market conditions. Portuguese government is very much aware of these challenges and determined to tackle them. Fourth, we discussed the draft budgetary plans of Spain and Lithuania. I can be brief as we have issued a statement on this topic. The Eurogroup agrees with the Commission's opinion that the budget of Spain is broadly compliant with the requirements of the SDP, that the budget of Lithuania is at a risk of non-compliance. We also note that the Commission will assess the authorities' application. This is the Lithuanian authorities' application for the flexibility clause related to their structural reforms, and the Commission will come back to that in spring. And as stated at our previous meeting, the Eurogroup will follow progress made with respect to the implementation of draft budgetary plans and additional commitments that were made by ministers, following up on the assessment, the next assessments by the Commission, currently planned for March. So we will come back to the budgetary plans in March. We were told by the Commission about the report on compliance with the Fiscal Compact. This report is almost finished, and it will become available in the coming weeks. Finally, we exchanged views on the recommendations of the European Court of Auditors. They put out a special report on the single supervisory mechanism. We fully agree with the overall assessment of the report, and I have to say that the ECB SSM has been very effective in setting up the SSM in such a very short period of time. Really great work. The report does deliver a number of recommendations for further improvements, and the ECB, Sabine Lautenschläger, has been very clear that they will take on those recommendations and work on those improvements. And we will take stock of the follow-up in the coming months in the framework of our regular dialogue with the SSM. That's my introduction, Commissaire.